I went to the water, that is River Niger, to perform some rituals so that I'll give birth to life child. Even on that very day, crocodile would have swallowed me. It's just the grace of God. Cut it off small, please.
Florence Onwasanya could not hold back her tears as she narrates her experience as a result of Rhesus' incompatibility with her husband. She lost 9 pregnancies in 12 years of her marriage before help finally came her way.
Presently, I have 1, but before that 1, I have lost 9. That 9 I lost, some was miscarriages and some was stillbirth. And I never knew what Rhesus negative was all about. I've not heard about it. Even when I got married, I used hospitals, and they never told me anything about Rhesus negative, and that is the truth. Not until after losing a lot. So one of the hospitals we went to was one of the clinics at SS Mulumba and David. That was when we wanted to wed. So on getting to that place, they said we have to run blood tests to see if we are compatible. And I told them we've been living together because we've done traditional marriage for a very long time. This one is just white wedding, but they said we must follow procedures. I said okay. So after that was when the doctor now told me that I am Rhesus negative. In short, what he told us was that we are not compatible, that we can't go ahead with the wedding. My husband being Igbo trader, an Igbo businessman, did not understand him. Even me, that was educated, I didn't even understand what he was talking about, Rhesus negative, and he didn't break it down in a way we will understand.
And you didn't ask for that question?
I did. What I asked him is, why can't we get married? He said, I cannot give birth to live children. That was what he said. So my husband got up, he was angry. I was like, come now, let's talk. He left me there. I came to the house to meet him. He was just making calls, talking. He has been wasting money. After losing like 6, that was when we had that I'm Rhesus negative. But that man didn't tell us that there's a remedy
you can do about it.
You understand? He didn't tell us. So 2007, I took in again. I carried the pregnancy till 7 months plus. So 7 months plus, I was in my shop then. I had the same problem, water coming out and every other thing. After the operation, I lost her too. I lost her at Loops because they say they don't have the equipment to incubate the child.
Christiana Ken Achapo is another Nigerian woman who had a harrowing experience in an attempt to have a second child.
After my first child, I took the injection. Then the second child, I had a miscarriage. I didn't know that if you have a miscarriage or an abortion or ectopic pregnancy, you're supposed to take that same injection. The injection is to prevent your body from building antibodies that is going to fight any Rhesus positive baby in your womb. So after my first miscarriage, I didn't take it, I didn't know about it. The second, third, fourth, and fifth. It was the fourth miscarriage, I now started asking questions. What is wrong with me? Then my first child was 5. I was like, what is wrong with me? Something is wrong somewhere. So I started reading until I found out that If you're a Rhesus negative mother, you must have this injection even when you have a miscarriage. That I didn't do. So that is why my body has built up an antibody that is fighting against the baby.
For these women, early knowledge of their Rhesus factor and the necessary precautions to take would have saved them this ordeal. Many women globally have had similar experiences due to lack of information about Rhesus disease, and in Nigeria, the situation is not any different. Rhesus disease, according to medical experts, is a condition where antibodies in a pregnant woman's blood destroy her baby's cells. This hemolytic disease has become a significant, devastating public health problem that results to stillbirths, miscarriages, and neonatal deaths. Sadly, many women are ignorant of their status. In fact, some are unable to differentiate between blood group and genotype.
Which one is your genotype? Which one is your blood group?
My blood group is O positive. So my genotype is AA.
Do you know what your Rhesus factor is in that your blood group?
Red factor.
Rhesus factor.
Factors. In as in what?
Your blood group.
We are strong. So I can do many things to my ability. My blood group is AA. It's my blood. Then AA positive.
Okay, your blood group is, your genotype is AA. What of your blood group?
O now. Positive.
Okay, you are also O positive.
I don't have the idea.
Nobody positive, what do you think it is?
Yeah, because it's a universal donor that you can donate to anybody. Yes.
How many children do you have?
I have 2 kids,
Girls?
a girl and a boy.
Do you know their blood group?
Sure. O positive. Yes, O positive. Yes.
Do you know your blood group?
I never told them.
What of your genotype? Do you know your genotype?
My genotype is AA.
What is your blood group?
Blood group is AO. I don't forget. My blood group is OO, something like that.
What's your blood group?
O positive.
O positive.
My blood group A positive.
A positive.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what the Rhesus factor in that blood group is?
Rhesus D positive.
I did not know it.
What's your genotype?
I did not know that one. I have not done that one.
What of your blood group?
O positive.
Okay. Is there any issue with anybody with negative?
Yes.
Okay, tell us.
The issue is that they have to collect injection when they are pregnant. Because if they did not collect it, their baby they'll be losing the baby.
Do you know the Rhesus factor in that your blood group?
In my body, that's a zero negative now, but I don't have it.
Out of the nation's women population of 86 million, according to the National Population Commission, statistics by Rhesus Solution Initiative puts the number of Rhesus-negative Nigerian women at 2.7 million, a development experts consider rather disturbing.
Before the mother will produce the Rhesus antibody against this Rhesus antigen, the baby will have been born. So that is why usually the first baby would escape. But this antibody has been formed. So the woman gets pregnant again, and the baby happens to also inherit the D antigen from the father. The mother has been sensitized. It has already produced an antibody waiting to fight the Rhesus antigen. So the mother's antibody will now start fighting the baby's red cell. So what the next baby would suffer is that the baby will be short of red cell, what we call short of blood, or what we call anemia. And if this anemia is so severe, that pregnancy will abort. If it's not so severe while the baby is still in utero, the baby will be born, but the baby will be born with very severe jaundice. The product of this breakdown that causes jaundice will go into the brain and give the baby what we call mental retardation. So sometimes some of this baby that is born and they have severe jaundice and they do not get access to good medical care, that is how they become mentally retarded.
Beyond the income drain and pains the situation does inflict on families, Rhesus incompatibility is also known to leave women with psychological trauma during pregnancy or when they see their babies jaundiced and always falling sick.
You have a baby that is born sick, or you have a stillbirth in the severest of forms. For the baby, the antibodies, usually of the what we call the IgG type, pass through the placenta and start destroying the red cells of the unborn baby. In terms of severity, a child may be born with just a mild, what we call anemia, low blood levels. As it gets worse, you could be born with what we call hemolytic disease of the newborn.
Rhesus disease, according to health experts, can be addressed through the administration of anti-D immunoglobulin drugs. But how available and affordable are these?
It's a bit expensive, about 30,000 naira per shot, per vial. And in a country where people are still pressuring the government to make it the minimum wage, it's understandable that a significant population of people who may fall into this category might not be able to afford this very important drug.
The cost of the injection is too much. Do you know that even when I remember the price of that injection, inside me I'll be scared because I know I can't afford it. Even now I can't afford it. Mrs. Banire gave it to me free of charge. Then she has 1,000,001 people she's giving those injections to. I met a lot of them, all thanks to her. But do you think we'll still have the opportunity to have it free again?
The 5th miscarriage, I took the injection. Even though the doctor said that it doesn't matter anymore. The blood has already formed an antibody. But I just said to myself, let me do the right thing.
The Nigerian government is already advocating for a legislation to enforce intending couples to check their blood group before making babies as a measure to address the challenge. Private organizations like Rhesus Solution Initiative have also initiated measures to help affected women.
I met a sister, Mrs. Owen. She gave me some pamphlets on RSI, Rhesus Solution Initiative. So I went through it. So when we got to their office, I never knew I was even pregnant then too. After everything, I brought the whole test for him. He now said, okay, that they will keep in touch with me till my delivery time, that they will come and give me Rogam injection for free. I said for free. He said yes. And then that injection was 15,000. My husband said, how can a woman give birth and take injection for 15,000? Meaning when the work of the injection will stop, the baby will die.
For those young women out there, if you are going to get pregnant and think of an abortion, one of the things you also have to do for your future pregnancy is that you have to ensure that you know your blood group, you know your rhesus factor, and you take the vaccination if you are going to have an abortion.
Today, Florence and Christiana have become advocates of Rhesus disease prevention in schools, churches, and other public places.
I used to go to schools to talk to young ladies about Rhesus negative. I really went through a lot. So even in my church, at times when I go out to churches, the first thing I talk about is Rhesus negative. Make sure you know your blood group. Some of our youths, they don't know. They don't know anything about it, but they have to be educated.
So they should also have say, well,
yes,
into the school curriculum to teach children.
To teach children.
What I do when I look at women, especially those that are close to me, and I see that you're having issues, I walk up to you and ask what exactly the problem is. And you know it is not everybody that wants to come out share their problems with you. So I try to be friendly with them. We that has this information, we should share.
To God be the glory, I gave birth, they came, they gave me the injection, and my baby is alive till now. Yes, he's alive. He's a boy. Like, he's one, but to me,
he's like 10.
What is 10? 10 is just 10. He's like millions.
After some time, I got pregnant, and to the glory of God, I had my baby.
Wow. Your baby was a boy, a girl?
A boy, a beautiful boy. Not handsome boy, beautiful boy.
According to a worldwide study, Rhesus D hemolytic disease is a devastating public health problem that requires urgent attention, raising the need for proper public education by governments. Hematologists, obstetricians, and neonatologists also need to put in place proper protocol for the management of Rhesus D negative pregnant women to prevent the disease and properly care for affected children. Nkoli Omodu.